Issues. This is Dave Arnold, your host of Cooking Issues, coming to you live from the heart of Manhattan, Rockefeller Center, New York City Newsstand Studios. Joined as usual with John, back from Belgium. How you doing?
Doing great, thanks.
Yeah, got Joe Hazen rocking the panels behind me. What's up?
Hey, welcome.
Hey, we got Jackie Molecules over there on the West Coast. How you doing, Jack?
Yo, I'm good.
Yeah, you're 100%?
Yeah, I put off the wisdom teeth removal for another month, so. Yeah.
So, what, you just taking copious drugs or what?
No, I put it off. I haven't done it.
Yeah, but it's not painful to you and causing you sinus infections? You're not like on whatever.
Yeah, I feel kind of crummy, but you know.
So why'd you put it off? Same amount of recovery now as later. What the heck, man?
Yeah, I had a lot of stuff going on, and it's a long story.
You know what?
I picked the better dentist.
Here's one. Oh, okay. Well, all right, better dentist. All right, it's for the better dentist. But, whatever.
Yeah.
I always put things off, and you know what it does for me? Nothing good. Nothing good. Anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Upper left-hand corner, we got Quinn. What's up?
Hey, I'm good.
Yeah, all right. We have Nastasia yet, or is she calling in a minute?
She's here.
Hey, we got Nastasia the Hammer Lopez. What's up?
Hi.
Hey. And special guest. So here's what happened. Last week, John wasn't on the show because he was in Belgium, right?
Correct.
His, favorite country at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, Belgium. And he brought back with him in his suitcase, not only did he bring back mustard, but he brought back a famous Belgian chef. And so we have, now you're going to pronounce your name for me because I don't want to ruin it. Michael, pronounce your last name.
Vrijmoed.
Vrijmoed. How close am I? Vrijmoed.
Yeah, it's okay. I can live with it.
Yeah? And his buddy, Jorst, also a chef. Are you a chef at the restaurant or no?
No.
No? All right, I'm going to pester you, but you're also from Belgium?
Yes, I am.
Yeah? Flemish Belgium, not like... So, question I have for you guys, because normally what happens for the first couple of minutes, we just shoot the breeze over what we've had in the last week, and it might be interesting. When did you get into the country?
Saturday.
Okay, so you've had some food here, and do you get to come here often or no?
Well, it's 10 years ago, so...
No, long time. Big... A lot of difference.
Yep.
So, question for you, as a legitimate Belgian, Flemish Belgian, John, whose family is Flemish, only speaks French. Discuss.
Yeah, my dad's from Ghent. He never taught me any Flemish.
But I think the northern part of Belgium, there's a lot of people who speak Dutch, but also speak French.
Yeah.
But the more south of Brussels, more or less a lot of people speak only French. So.
Yeah, but Ghent, he's a Ghent dude. By the way, Ghent, of all I didn't get to go to everywhere. I only went, Brussels and West, but I didn't go to Liège or any of the places like that, or the Ardennes or any of this. But I have to say, Ghent was my favorite. Ghent's a great town, and that's where your restaurant is, right?
Yeah, I love Ghent. We're situated in the city center, so...
Yeah?
I've been raised 20 kilometers from Ghent. And then when I was 18, I left it to stay there, so happy place to stay. Yeah.
I only had one bad experience in Ghent, two bad experiences in Ghent. Two. Here they are. Number one, the jerk who is running the line behind the glass of your tower that you have to walk up was a huge jerk to my whole family. I hope he rots in hell. That's one. And two, those, what do you call those things? Cuberdon?
Cuberdon, yeah.
They're garbage. It's the worst candy that's ever been made. Is there a good version of
sugar,
it?
yeah, it's only sugar.
Is there a good version of it? That guy who's right in the city center area, across the way from the mustard place, only takes cash. I don't have cash. I had to walk 1,000 miles to an ATM that would take my card to get cash to have what was arguably the worst candy I've ever had in my entire life. Is there a good version of that? You want to describe it? It's like a little pyramid. It's like, imagine if gummies tasted bad. Everyone likes gummies, right? Imagine if gummies were bad.
Tasted like medicine.
Not even. Like a weak medicine. Just bad. Have you ever...
special traditional candy, but from that guy also. So it's not that everybody's making it. But
just that guy?
Yeah, everybody knows. He's always there, always on that square. He's standing with his little trolley with... Before they were two, but they were fighting a lot. There was a lot in the newspaper, so he never had so much publicity of that. And then one of the two stopped, so... Yeah.
Well, thank God you got rid of one of them. You only have one more to go, and then you're Cuberdon free.
Every tourist is passing it, so let's try it.
People, get this. It's called Cuberdon. It's a pyramid. It is not any. I don't know whether cube is related to our word for cube, but it is in no way cubic. There's no shape or form cubic. And it's not even a nice pyramid. It's not even
It's like a cone.
Yeah, but it's not even well rendered. You know what I mean? Sloppy edges. You know, imagine, like a poorly constructed, like semi-conical jelly bean with no flavor, maybe a little bit of like a floral garbage flavor, and like a weak lavender color. And you have only 2 bad experiences again. Rest fantastic. I love it. Yeah. All right. So what happened in the last week? Who's got something interesting from last week? Did I cook anything last week? I know I did because I cooked every day. What do you guys got?
I mean, I had an excellent
I'm
time in
miserable. I've
Belgium.
been on a terrible diet. Sucks.
Because of this freaking tooth? How good is this
I don't
dentist?
know, but yeah, I'm no, no, I also had high cholesterol in my last blood. Like, I'm just in this phase of trying to, triage everything going on with me.
Okay,
right now.
when they did your cholesterol panel, right? First of all, let's go back to what Nastasia told you last week, which is you don't get to like change your diet for a week and a half and then undo everything you've done in your life prior to that.
Well, what about 3 weeks?
No, that's just not how it works. That's just not what happens. You're like the guy who like gives up smoking when he's like 75 and hopes to have it like, fix the problem. It's not how it works. You know what I mean? But the other thing is that like, like which part of your cholesterol panels came back? Because some of this stuff is just calculated. A lot of this stuff in those blood panels is just calculated. And let me tell you something. It's no skin off of your RN or your doctor's nose to just tell you to change your entire way of living. Because you know what? They get to go home and eat whatever they want to. But they say something to you, and they put the fear of God into you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And like,
That's
not
right.
only that, like, whatever, man. Whatever. Like, like.
I have to remind myself of the better way to do this, which is just eat the same stuff you've always eaten, but less of it.
That is a great way to do things. If you need to eat less, or don't stress about it so much. You stress about it so much. Is there a country on earth that stresses more than United States does about what we eat and how it's affecting our particular health, but at the same time, so the French also believe stuff like this, right? They believe that Italians also believe that like every little thing they eat, right? Nastasia, you hate that about Italians, right? They're always talking about how like their digestion and their health and their food, but at least their traditional system is what they believe in, not whatever some rando like, healthcare provider tells them. You know what I'm saying, Stas?
Yeah.
So, like, they don't have to change their things because they've always eaten the same quirky, weird way that they always have. Italians always believe that they're not consuming liquor when they have their aperitivi. You know what I mean? Somehow, like, but whatever. It doesn't matter because they don't have to change what they do all the time, so it doesn't cause them any stress. When you're constantly having to change what you eat, it's so stressful.
When I was sick in Italy, I remember I went to the doctor and I was like, I don't feel well. I need some medicine. And he took a drag of his cigarette and said, just go to the beach.
Oh, man. Imagine if he said that to me, I would have spat in his face. You know what I mean? Or her face. I'm like, the beach? You're trying to kill me? I hate sand. That's why. I hate sand. And I don't know if you can't tell over the radio, but I'm a pale dude. Yeah. I show up my beach gear is what I'm wearing right now, which is long sleeve, like dark blue long sleeve shirt, long pants, shoes, hat. That's my beach wear. Okay. All right. So Jack has, been ruining himself for the past couple of weeks because he's waiting for the good dentist to rip the teeth out of his face. That look. So that's just not okay, dude. Anyway. It doesn't hurt me any. It hurts you, and I feel bad if you get hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, thanks, man.
And plus, also, I'm sure it's putting a crimp in Nastasia's style because you're her going out buddy.
I drank with her. I went out and drank with her on one night.
All right.
I broke the fast.
Okay. If we have any on our Discord, if we have any doctors on our Discord, I want to hear the actual science about I can't have anything to drink because I'm on antibiotics. Right? Is that just a farce or is that real?
Thing, yeah.
Is that a thing or not a thing? It's a thing people say when they're, let's say, pregnant and they don't want to drink at the bar. I'm on antibiotics. Like, that's a classic thing to say, right?
I mean, it's not good for your liver.
Antibiotics?
And alcohol.
Why?
Well, I don't think antibiotics are
I mean,
on their own either.
like
but, yeah.
ibuprofen and Tylenol and alcohol rip your liver out, kill you.
Yeah.
But like antibiotics, why?
I mean, it depends on the antibiotic.
Yeah.
I know the ones I take affect my kidneys.
And then the theory is that your kidneys are working harder if you're drinking. But is that if you're drinking a lot? Like if you're drinking like a 6-pack of beer?
I don't know, man.
Exactly. I want to like talk to the person that came up with the original recommendations and be like, what's real? What's the real deal? What's actually happening? What am I actually worried about here? You know what I mean? Whatever.
Can you just ask your mom, the doctor?
Yeah, I'm sure she would know, but I just haven't bothered because I've never followed that advice. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and it's here's a terrible argument. It didn't kill me. My son pulls that out all the time. He's like, I did it. It didn't kill me. I'm like, it didn't kill you the last time you did it, you little jerk. You know what I mean? He's actually much bigger than I am now. Anyway, all right. Quinn, I know you had something you cooked last week. You're going to want to get in. What do you got?
Yeah, my dad bought a turkey from our favorite small local farmer, but the turkey was huge. I think they didn't slaughter it last season, so it must have kept
Well, you would know.
growing.
Was it tough as all get out? Was it like chewing on nails?
We braised it because we had to break it down. It was 25 pounds, which is much bigger than the turkeys we usually get from him.
Well, you could also be this different feed, different breed, but I mean, you braised the breast?
No, we broke it down into pieces.
Well,
so the breast is.
How tough was the breast?
Yet to,
Oh, you haven't cooked it yet, so you don't know.
We haven't cooked that part yet.
Yeah. I mean, a turkey that is over a year old, I don't know that I've ever eaten one. I've had chickens that are over a year old, and it's like, they're delicious, but you know what I mean?
Like the dark meat looked like duck. It was pretty wild.
Yeah? How'd it taste compared to duck?
Good. I think it looked very dark.
You know, one of my favorite things used to do with like large turkeys' legs is you have to have a bandsaw because it doesn't work so well with a cleaver. But you make them into fake ossobuco, and then you braise them out. You tie them, then you braise them out like ossobuco, and then afterwards you just go in with pliers and beep 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 beep. You pick out the tendons. Hey, in Belgium, they don't eat a lot of turkey, right?
No, not too much, no.
No. Because people who've listened to me, rant forever know that I hate the tendons in turkey legs because they're like solid like rocks. And they used to have machines that could take the tendons out before you cooked it. But you have to do it when you slaughter the bird. As soon as you chop the feet off, you can't rip it. It's almost like, how with game birds, they do the same thing for tendons. They'll
With the pheasant we do, no?
Yeah, you break it off and you pull it out. Yeah. They used to have a machine, like a not even a machine, but something on the bench that you could plop, put the turkey in, crack in like.
I did it before in the work. What I worked a long time before was open a table.
Yeah.
Put it between it.
And yeah, smart.
Yeah.
Why doesn't everyone do this? Why would you kill an animal and then not want it to be delicious? Are you a bad person? Like, why do you not want the animal to be delicious? You're going to kill it anyway. First of all, with turkeys, they're killing zillions of them. Don't you want it to be good? How much extra work was it for you to do that?
No, none, yeah.
Yeah, 5 seconds. I would pay an extra $5 for the bird, all in, for that one action. And how many could you do in an hour? So many. You'd be making so much money per hour for removing the tendons. You know what I mean? Anyway,
True.
How were the tendons in this turkey? Did they kill you? Did you have to strip the meat off? I could poke somebody's eye out with a turkey tendon. They're the worst.
We chopped up the dark meat for a gumbo. We didn't roast it whole.
I thought you said you braised it.
The breasts?
Well, I'm sorry, I meant stewed.
Okay. But you chopped it up raw? So you had to scrape it off the tendons raw.
Yeah.
God bless you. God bless you, dude. Anyway.
That was my dad's job. Also, yeah.
Yeah, what? What do you got?
Well, no, my dad's in a similar boat to Jack in terms of diet. He got the good news, bad news. His, diabetes is doing better, but now he's on blood pressure watch. So they're saying he's got to cut the sodium down.
Yeah, or just take the medicine that lowers your blood pressure and have all the salt that you want. Right? right? I mean, like that's the other alternative. Because let me tell you something about salt. Oh yeah, salt, like good stuff. And did they actually run a test on your dad? Does your dad have the type of blood pressure that is actually salt responsive, or no? Or did they not do the test because nobody cares, and the easiest thing to do is to tell your dad not to have salt, even though he loves salt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. All right. Okay. What about you,
My
Stas?
blood work was great.
What was? All right. What about you, Stas? What do you got?
A friend of mine wanted all of her friends to come over with a recipe that they cooked from the Julia Child French book.
The original one with Simone.
Simone Beck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Volume 1 and 2, or could you choose which volume, or it has to be volume 1, OG?
I don't know. It
All
wasn't that strict. So I made cassoulet. But
You made cassoulet?
But I got bored with it, so it was just pork and beans.
I was gonna say cassoulet, man. That's pretty hardcore.
Dedication.
Did you get the? How do you pronounce those beans? How do you pronounce those?
Tarbet?
Cocoa beans, yeah.
Yeah, well, there's a couple. Yeah, and then like the sausage and the duck and the cooking and the this and the that. I mean, it's a delicious stick to your ribs dish, but it's
a lot of work.
yeah. Best.
A lot of patience also.
Yeah. The best cassoulet is the one someone makes for you.
Or you go to Carcassonne.
Yeah. So what was the stand? Who effed up the worst? What was the worst thing somebody brought? The absolute worst.
Oh God, someone didn't set their custard. They were going to make they were going to assemble at the house, but they never put the custard in the fridge to set, so it was just liquid. And she poured it in the pie, and it was like, well, then we had ice cream instead. Yeah.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah.
That feels bad too.
Yeah.
And you know when you're in the car and it's like spoop, 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 and then you look down at it and the pie is splashed all over your seat. It's a nightmare. And you didn't even taste the crust. Was the crust? First of all, if you're not willing to give something the time to set, just use a standard cooked custard or something whatever. Just make it the night before. What is wrong with people? Anyway. Or make it bulletproof. There are custards that are, I guess, no, she had to follow the recipe that was in the Julia Child. All right. Fair enough. I have no recollection of what I cooked, so I'm not even going to talk about it. But John, you were in Belgium, so what did you eat? Including at Michael's restaurant.
Yeah. I went to 3 fantastic 2-star Michelin dinners, including Michael's. The first night I went to Le Chalet de la Forêt, which is in Uccle, just outside of Brussels. And that was in Uccle. That's the town name. But
imagine you live there. That's the worst name. Sounds like you have gastrointestinal distress. Give me the name again.
Uccle.
Hey, Stas, imagine if we did an event there and the only grocery store was Ralph's.
Yeah.
Go to Ralph's.
Second night, I went to Ralph Baron Denson's out near Liège, and that was also fantastic.
So you flew in, so it's over there.
Flew into Brussels, then drove out.
Did you go to Maison d'Andoy?
I did, yes, for my mom likes it there. I mean, it's delicious waffles, but yeah.
Which waffle did you get?
One of each.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
But at the outdoor stand, because they only have the good waffles at the outdoor stand. Indoor speculoos only, right?
Yep, exactly.
Did you go in and get those?
No.
Have you ever bought the giant ones?
No.
Has anyone ever Michael, have you ever bought the giant ones?
Like the huge speculoos cookies?
You ever bought those? No. Has anyone ever purchased one and gotten it home? Has anyone ever purchased? Imagine the most brittle cookie on earth. It's not like a pita. You can't roll it up. It's like you look at it and it shatters. It's thin and it's 4 feet tall. It's a stunt. How do you get this thing home? You pay what? Like $40-$50 for the cookie, and then it's $1,000 to ship it to your house because it has to be in art packing? What the hell? You know what I mean? Ridiculous. But cool. In the store, the lady did not want to talk to me, and my French, because she was French, my French not good enough to make fun of her in French. And I feel like you can't make fun of somebody unless you do it in their chosen language.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the speculoos are delicious, and their outdoor waffle game on point.
Yeah.
Because they never stop making them.
Yeah.
People are running like a in the United States we used to have what's called bucket brigades. So when our fire departments didn't work, you would literally have just brigades of people with buckets, passing buckets, to put out a fire with water buckets. And that's how they make waffles there. They're so fast. They have like a bucket brigade of like batter coming in and like dough balls for the Liège coming in. And so they're never sandbagged.
They're delicious.
Oh my God. You have to wait in line, but you should.
Yeah.
Which did you like better there? Did you like the Brussels style or did
I mean,
you?
Liège is always my favorite.
Really?
Waffle style, yeah.
Really? Always?
Yeah.
You're never like, it's too much?
No, it's my childhood.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Michael? What's your favorite style between those two? And is there more styles that I'm missing?
No, they're too different to say like one or the other one.
Yeah.
I both like them, yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is there a Ghentish waffle?
Not a real no. We take the Brussels waffle with a fresh turned vanilla ice. Yeah.
Yeah? Nice. All right.
Yeah, Dave loved the waffles so much. He was there last time. He got his own proper Belgian waffle.
I have an HVD A57.
Okay.
Yeah. Weighs 90 pounds. It's unconscionable amount of money. The thing is a monster. Everyone's like, but you... People write these things all the time. I said this, I'm going to be very brief. But people are like, you can make a really great waffle with any waffle iron. No. It's because you've never used the real waffle iron. That's why you think that. I mean, you can make a decent waffle. You can do all sorts of tricks and like handstands and like jump through flaming hoops to try to make a waffle that is like close to what you could make if you have the real waffle iron. But there's a reason that they make those waffle irons, and it's that they're fantastic. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Do you have one in the restaurant?
Real big iron one, though.
No, that's so good. The Crampeuse Frenchy one, not as good.
No.
A lot cheaper. Their crepe maker, great. I've had their crepe maker for 25 years or something, going strong, gas. Thing's a monster. Thing's a monster. Great.
Yeah. Yeah, on my last night, ended at Chef Michael's restaurant, and it was delicious. The staff was really friendly. Your plateware is stunningly beautiful. I love the bread plates.
Wait, what do you mean bread plate?
Like, I don't know, the like actual plate that the bread came on, like the actual flatware.
Not a plate made of bread, not like a trencher, not a medieval style.
No. So your bread was really good, too.
Everything is eatable in my restaurants.
Everything. Everything. It's like you're the Willy Wonka of Ghent. Yeah. But like, here's the thing. You could do it, obviously. You could make all the stuff edible, but could you make a delicious plate? You could make an edible plate. Could you make a delicious plate that was non-absorbent?
I can imagine that Albert Adriaan can make it. So.
Well, maybe. Well, the thing is, like, like some of that stuff, I never got to eat. I never, when I went to, been to Spain a bunch of times, but I've never been to like one of the early 2000s, like, butt kicking, like fancy modernist place. I went to La Broche, but like in 2004, but I never went to like Mugaritz or any of those things. But how good, now Harold McGee tells me it is good, but how good can a potato wrapped in clay taste? How good, because I have eaten kaolin, which is what they coated their stuff in.
Yeah.
I'm thinking making plates. I don't like the texture of kaolin in my teeth. You? Did you have that dish?
But I know which dish you're meaning.
Yeah.
I didn't eat it yet, but I had some friends. I can imagine also if you're there, you experience it. You got like the big tray with all stones, and then you got...
Yeah. Did they like it?
You experience it, I think.
McGee loved it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe they have some way of making dirt taste good. But
it must be good, I think.
Yeah.
On a level like that, everything should be good, no?
Yeah, you would think, right? I mean, whatever. So, so of those, you didn't get tired of eating fancy?
After the third night, it was, I couldn't finish all the food at Michael's restaurant.
You're an embarrassment.
I felt bad.
You're an embarrassment.
But it was rich and decadent. I mean, the king crab that you had was intensely delicious, but also, we were getting tapped out.
You had king crab from like off like where we are, or do they have one in the North Sea also?
No, from the north.
Really?
Really it's not the North Sea.
And it's similar to the one we get?
Yeah, really nice thick Merus line. Yeah.
Are they as expensive as the ones we get? They're so expensive.
It's really expensive, yeah.
And do you get them live?
You can buy them live, but...
Yeah, they're so expensive here. The live ones are ridiculously expensive.
Yeah.
And here's a tip, guys. Not you know. But when you're buying live crustaceans, the minute they come out of the water, they start dying. Like they stay alive, but they eat themselves from the inside, and they lose what is good about them. So a lot of times, if you can get one that they get out of the water, they put it on an airplane, and they fly it to you, and it's at the restaurant buys it and serves it that night, great. You know what I mean? Fantastic. Some of the best crab I've ever had is like that was flown in for events for me. I loved it, right? But a lot of times, the stuff that they instantly kill and flash super freeze on the boat is great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Anyway, so expensive, so ridiculously expensive king crab. Delicious.
Yeah, it is. And then the crispy veal sweetbreads with the excessive amount of black truffle, and your caviar potato with the crayfish mousseline was delicious.
In the kitchen, or do you do it at the table to make people spend more?
No, it's all from the kitchen.
Everything is bought, so
you
give the good portion. But he eats a la carte, so we have.
Yeah.
My
mom didn't want to do the tasting.
You
can choose.
I know,
you can choose.
I
You can
know.
choose in my restaurant. So we have 2 menus. We have one menu like fish, meat, vegetable courses, and then inside that we have a menu pure vegetable. What is also really interesting. So I must say, like 90% of the people they have the menu. You can choose the courses also.
90%
No,
not.
you had
my
the
mom
a la carte
shames
option,
me,
but it's a la carte. You can, of course, really choose whatever you want on that moment.
And he
so.
still didn't finish it. The jerk. He orders a la carte. He still didn't finish it.
I didn't hear any complaints from my waiters, but
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
But I'll have to say this: when you do go to a restaurant, especially, how many seats you got? 24?
no, 30 to 40 covers.
30 to 40? 30 to 40 covers.
Yeah.
30 to 40 covers. So if you go to a restaurant that does 30 to 40 covers in a night, they pay attention to whether you eat it or not.
yeah.
They do.
If somebody normally doesn't finish his plate, there's a problem.
That's why I tried to eat as much as I possibly could so that no one would think that, because there was no problem.
I mean, you
But
go
you
to,
probably told it to the waiter also that he didn't. They said it to me. So
yeah.
if people don't say anything and they don't eat it, then they will ask it. They will say like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
yeah,
right.
because like, you know, people pay attention. Like people take it personally. They're trying to make you happy. And if not, it's like not an insult, but it's personal, right?
Yeah.
But I'm also not a big fan if you have like 10 dishes and every time the waiter will say like, did you like it? Did you like it? Did you like it?
Yeah.
Or something like.
Well, I ate it.
If it was really good, you will say it yourself.
Yeah.
If your plate is finished, it means it was really good. I think normally.
Yeah. So how many courses did you say in the tastings? Typically?
3 to we have 7 courses.
7 courses, yeah.
Yeah.
So like, I think like, what's the maximum number that's easy to course out? Because I think a lot of people don't think about how difficult some of the longer tastings are, just the portion sizes. Because the difference between a little bit more or a little bit less is the difference between leaving hungry and leaving like bloated.
But the people can choose. So and then at lunchtime, the people can choose like 3 to 7 courses, and for dinner 5 to 7 courses. So for me, like if the portion de la carte, but for me still. Needs to be more than like taking the spoon 1 bite. It needs to be like you have a few bites. I'm really disturbed if you go to a restaurant, then the storytelling is more important than the amount of food that's on your plate.
Yeah.
If you're talking about a product, you really want to taste it. You want to taste the sauce. You want to taste everything. So.
Well, Quinn sent me a video that you did in English because a lot of the stuff is inaccessible to an idiot like me who can only speak English and, you know, a tiny amount of German and a smattering of French and Spanish. But you did, what was it? It was the Belgian caviar on top of the
Crayfish, probably, no?
it was like a langoustine that was like ceviche. What was
the
Tartare, yeah.
Yeah, and what was the gelée?
It's from the heads, made from the heads of the langoustines.
Oh yeah. So it was like langoustineed up.
A bisque, like you make a bisque.
Yeah. And let me just tell you, if you go, is your caviar portion that healthy in the restaurant? He makes a quenelle of caviar.
Crazy.
30 grams.
Jeez Louise. So first of all, your quenelle game on point. Like, I have to say, although I never really developed the skill, and nobody I think even teaches it anymore. And I mean, like you talk to like a young kid, they're like, you quenelle something, they're like, canoe, and then like, but like, joom, plop. You know what I mean? Like just the right amount of joom. By the way, what I'm doing with my hands is making the little quenelle motion, joom with the spoons. But I still appreciate it. Do you still? I mean, obviously you still appreciate it because you do it. Like when people come in now, do they still know that where you are, or do you have to teach people how to quenelle?
And one way you later learn it on school, but maybe less and less.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's like I think quenelles might be going the way of like the turned vegetable. Which, by the way, turned vegetables can go die. You don't need to turn a vegetable.
But I think even 20 years ago, 30 years ago, when you were plating, it was like, okay, when you would give like a mashed potato, it was like making 3 nice quenelles put aside on the plate.
Yeah.
You won't see that anymore, of course.
No. But even like 15 years ago, especially on pastry side or like even savory, when people were doing things out of the Paco jets, shit. You know what I mean? It's like, that was the way that they did the ice cream, Anyway, I think some lost skills should come back and some should go. You don't turn vegetables, do you? You know what I mean? Turning?
Yeah, pomme chateau or something.
Yeah. Ridiculous, right? And as if that's the only way. So by the way, people, what we're talking about is you're basically making little pickle barrels out of all of your vegetables, like, you know, and you have
seven-sided football.
Yeah,
You really learn it at school.
Yeah.
We were sitting in school. It was like, okay, make 60 for today.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah, and they reject some, and it's a hazing. Like, it's a hazing you, and like, how good are you at the tournée, right? So you're like, and then they say that the reason that you do it is because it makes everything cook more evenly, but it's not actually a shape that cooks evenly because it's thicker in the middle than it is on the ends. So the ends are always going to get beat up before the inside is done. And it's the most inefficient, unless you're making veg stock every day. And who's making veg stock with, well, maybe somebody. You can make a potato soup, I guess. But my point is that you have all of these trimmings. There are other ways to get evenly shaped vegetables, is what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the question. Does it need to be evenly shaped? No.
What do you? Oh, so that's a good point. So the way that they used to teach in the cooking school all the time was that even shape for even cooking, but you disagree.
Yeah, it's depending what you're going to use. Huh?
Right.
What are you going to make?
What's your least favorite vegetable?
Least favorite?
Yeah, to cook. What do you hate cooking?
I'm not a huge fan of red cabbage, but...
Really? I think I like to eat it on a sandwich, but I've never bought it.
It's also the smell. When you're stewing at the smell, it's...
You're a green?
But normally I don't have... I eat everything, so...
But when you buy it, you have a green and a red, you go the red. I mean, the green.
Go the green
one, yeah.
Go the green.
Yeah.
Even
I like
one of his
cabbage.
menus was like a little green cabbage tartlet.
Yeah.
It was very delicious, yeah.
Yeah, I like green. Speaking of things that, I don't know, red versus green or white, onions. Talk to me about this onion. What do you have? What's the name of the onion? Cevennes. Talk to me about this onion. It has...
That's a white. It's a white onion from the south of France, the Aubrac region from France.
But like that's kin to like our Vidalia sweet onions. You ever had our onions? Our sweet onions? We need to have an onion
I
off.
don't think it tastes here, no.
You've never had...
That's a really... I still remember the first time that I ate it was when I was on a vacation in France. I went to Michel Bras.
Yeah.
And it was one of his dishes in the menu, so I never experienced it. You go to a high-level restaurant, and then the dish was like a half of an onion. So it was really like a big onion cut in two. It was braised. It was really colored, caramelized, with a little sauce with it and some fruit with it. But it was just like a semi-onion. So we never thought like, I'm going to serve a semi-onion to the people.
And it was good?
It was crazy good.
Really?
It was the first time that I really realized like how good can an onion be.
Huh?
And it was the quality of the onion was so good. So yeah, after that I also use it.
You don't know my business partner, Nastasia, but right now what I'm doing is trying to picture her face if we're at a restaurant paying through our nose and a plate shows up with just a half an onion on it. Trying to imagine. Trying to imagine the look on your face.
Perfectly braised, caramelized with a good juice with it.
Let me ask you this. When you were eating this, like Michel Bras perfect onion after you had your gargouille or however you pronounce the salad that he always makes, when you cut into it, did it break apart so that when I cut into a braised onion and the skin flattens out and pushes all of the other parts of the inside of the onion away, I'm always like, no. You know what I mean? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, but if you see a real nice Cevennes onion, you cut it in two, it's like picture perfect.
Really?
So nice. It's
all right.
Yeah.
But you've never had
an
an American style sweet onion.
But it's braised really a long time now.
No one ever does that because that's not something we do here.
Yeah.
It's just not. That just doesn't come up. I don't think, right, John? Do we ever do that here?
No, I don't think so.
We only braise onions when we're doing like other people's cooking techniques.
We've got the bloomin' onion from Outback.
Oh my God, have you had a blooming onion?
No.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
It's the craziest.
Wait. First of all,
it's very American, but very delicious.
It can be horrific when it's wrong. When the batter on the inside's not cooked all the way through. So what they do is they have a special like an onion press. It's like, imagine you're doing like which muscle is this? Triceps? Whatever. You're doing like a pull down, right? And you have the onion and it goes blam and it cuts it into like almost like lotus petals, right? Then you soak it so that it opens up, right? Like this. Then you take the whole onion and you dip it in like a batter mix, and then you just deep fry the whole thing, and then you put it on a plate with all sorts of like dipping sauce. And when done properly, it is delicious.
Looks like that.
Okay.
When under fried, when the batter in the inside is not cooked right, a nightmare. What's the West Coast think about the blooming onion?
I have a crappy home version of like the cutting guide. So we've done like 1 or 2 attempts.
Yeah, it's not possible at home. I mean, like, that's one of those tricks. No one here. Am I the only person who's ever been to the Royal Canadian Pancake House before they closed?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they had they instead of a blooming onion, it was deep fried but not battered, but they had the blooming French toast. And so they did an entire loaf of bread that they would cut almost down to the bottom like a Pullman style. Like they would cut almost down to the bottom, splay it open, like soak the whole thing in French toast mixture, pain perdu if you don't want to call it after the French, and then just deep fry the whole thing. And none of these things are possible with a home fryer. Like just not you can't do that with a home fryer. You know what I mean? I guess if you had a giant kettle, if you were using a turkey fryer, you could do it like once, and then your oil will get ruined. But it's like I don't know.
But you have a butter and a butter sometimes. If you go to Japan, you go to a good tempura. They have a nice cooked onion, and they put like a really tiny layer of tempura.
You like tempura?
I liked tempura before, like a nice butter. I liked it, but then when I was in Japan last year, it was like
Kyoto,
something else.
Kyoto style. Yeah. No, it's good when you have it there. Like I think like having other people try to do it in a kitchen and bring it to you. It's always I'd rather just have whatever the fried food is from the country where I am. Yeah. In Kyoto is delicious. Speaking of fried food from where you are. Are you a frite man? Are you a fry cook or no?
I like it. It's not that we serve it in a restaurant, but
you ever do it? What is the technique that you like? Like first of all, what size French fry?
It starts with a good potato.
Right. Oh, what do you use?
Most potato. Most important. And then you have a potato is made in a soil of clay.
Yeah.
You have what's the name of it? Not too much sugar in the potato also.
Yeah, it'll turn too
when
dark.
when you're cooking them on 140 degrees Celsius, then otherwise they're coloring too fast, and then you have really nice colored fries, but it's not crispy.
Do you rinse, or do you go directly from the cut into the oil?
I rinse first.
Rinse?
Yeah.
All right. And then into 140?
And even when I do it at home, I cut my fries the day before, and I leave them in the water.
Yeah, okay. All right. And 140C for how long?
5 minutes.
Oh, so short. So
and then I bake them at 180 afterwards.
For the second?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For finishing them, yeah.
Like super fast or no?
No, also a few minutes, 3 minutes.
Yeah? How many millimeters is your fry of choice?
A centimeter.
It's like 10. It's like 10. So John at Temperance has small gauge fries. His fries are delicious.
Like McDonald's
and
fries.
crispy, but they're too small.
Yeah, that's what most people like here, though.
No, that's not true.
Yeah.
Nastasi doesn't like French fries, so I'm going to discount her. Frites. But like how many what do you guys think? What is your favorite thickness of fry? Everyone. I want to hear everybody's take.
I like thicker than shoestring, which is what's at my restaurant, but a little thinner than like typical Belgian. So like kind of little half-Z in between there.
Yeah. To me, it must be between 3/8 of an inch and 1/2 of an inch. That's the magic range. If you can make a delicious fry that's 1/2 inch. What about you, Jack? What'd you say?
I think that's right. I was just agreeing with you.
Yeah, well, 1/2 inch is 12 millimeters. So like that's the upper size for good. And then I don't know what 3/8 is. It's going to be like 9 or 10 millimeters. Like that's the lower range. That's the range. And John is below that range.
Maybe I'm going to be too diplomatic, but I think it depends what you're having the fries with.
I was going to use my mouth. What is it that you want a thin fry? First of all, thin fries also don't cool as well.
Yeah.
John's fries are like 6 millimeters.
But then fry with a steak tartare, you eat some maybe thinner fries, no?
Oh,
yeah. I'll agree with that.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I had steak tartare every day last week.
Have you been to Miami?
No.
They do the matchstick potatoes on hamburgers. Not on hamburgers, on their what are they
on a
called?
Cuban sandwich. It's classic.
Yeah, but what's the name of the mago de
Is it
fritas?
It's a Cuban burger, though.
Burger, kind of a burger. It's like it's burger-ish. It's burger adjacent. Yeah, it's a burgerloid. Burgerloid. Yeah.
I'll tell you what. When I went to Sicily a couple years ago, everybody in the whole country, everyone has French fries for appetizers.
Yeah.
Even if they're having pizza
You know
as
why?
a main.
You know why?
Why?
Cheap.
They're good.
Then you need to have the pickles mayonnaise with it, no?
Oh,
in Belgium.
First of all, I'm with you. Mayonnaise is God's condiment in general, but also for fries. Like mayonnaise.
Yeah, nothing else than mayonnaise and no sugar with it.
In your mayonnaise. So you hate Kewpie?
If you go to like a fruit shop or in Holland, there's a lot of sweet sauces. I really don't like it.
No, jerks. They're ruining it. What do they know? What do you think about that? There's a bunch of fancy dipping sauces in that. What's the name of the fry shop? It's right on the main square in Ghent. It's run by a Michelin star chef.
From Sergio Herman, yeah.
Good. You like his fries?
They're good, but there's other prepared. No,
I don't know.
They're cooked first and then dried, and then there's a big process of it. Because the fries are always good. So it will be always crispy.
Yeah.
But it's different than you have like a good potato you start with. He has also good potatoes, it's not about that. Because the quality, it's really good, eh?
Yeah. I went there right before the pandemic.
Yeah.
Belgium was the last place I went before the pandemic.
But he has truffle sauce, I think. He has a few
I don't know
toppings.
I don't know that I need truffles on my fries. I don't know. I mean, it's good.
Also.
I think truffles, eggs, then you can eat fries. So Quinn, what is your optimum small fry food?
Again, I think with a burger, if you're like sort of mentally referencing, fast food, but you're making it from scratch, you do a smash burger and some, slightly thinner fries. I think that works.
Well, it's for you. You get to choose. What do you say, Michael?
We do the beef carbonara. For me, the combination of the beef carbonara sauce with the mayonnaise and the fries. That's for me.
You put the carbonara on the fries?
The sauce. Not too much meat in it.
Here's the thing. That would sell infinity in the U.S. In the U.S., we have this thing called gravy fries, but it's just crap gravy from a can at a diner.
Or powder, yeah.
Yeah. And it's fine. Like, we like it. Do you like cheese on your gravy fries?
Yeah.
Okay. But imagine, like,
That's
carbonara fries.
Poutine.
You taste that in Belgium?
Carbonade?
Like the Stuyvenet sauce.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
we America, we have our own gravy fries. They're just bad. But the carbonade is like, what mustard do you use? You put the bread and the mustard in your carbonade? You use this one?
Tierentin mustard, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. We have some of, by the way, God's mustard with us today.
Yeah. But Michael, so I want to ask, so we're talking a lot about like stereotypical Belgian kind of foods and ingredients. What do you think about Belgian cuisine nowadays? Like, what are the main things that you are interested in cooking that you think are better representative of that? Like, I know you had a Hopshoots special that I didn't get that night, but I don't like things like that are.
Yeah, it's a really seasonal thing. So, yeah, more or less, I think everybody, for sure, the type of restaurant that I have, you want to work seasonal, you want to bring a kitchen with an own identity. Of course, I'm influenced by the past, what I did, where I worked with chefs that I did. The restaurant exists now 12 years, so we got our own identity and our own style, but it's influenced by French traditional. What is Belgium kitchen? Belgium kitchen is also like a little bit formed by the French kitchen, but open-minded for the international influences. I'm a really big fan of Japanese kitchen, so I will use pretty much umami taste. You won't always see it in a dish, but can make a sauce more complex or
So
influenced.
Speaking of ingredients I had never heard of that were on one of your reviews, how do you even pronounce it? Like this fish from the North Sea. In English, you would say pout. Poo? This one. And it looks like the back half looks like an eel, and the front looks like a horse's hoof. It's a gross looking fish, disgusting looking fish.
Pour? P-O-U-R?
Yeah.
No, so it's pour poisson? No, I don't know. I'm not familiar with it.
Anyway, it's one of these translations, but it's the ugliest fish. Do you cook a fish that is ugly as death? It looks like the back half looks like an eel.
But there's a lot of fishes for sure in the North Sea who look not good, but I think my restaurant, like Ghent, is situated 40 minutes from the coast. So the quality we get from the fish is like really, really good. Theoretically wise, you can get like everyday new fish and every day. But of course, the fish is really, really fresh. Just top to work with, no? And I'm also an ambassador of the North Sea chef movement. So from the moment that I started a restaurant, it means that everybody more or less works only with fish from the North Sea.
Right, so what are some good fish out of the North Sea that you don't get all over the world?
For sure, you have the seasons. The seasons, like you go more to the summer, like now, you go to the flat fishes. You go into the sole, the Dover sole. We got like the really big, nice, thick ones. You have the sea bass, but the sea bass line cod.
How do you do your Dover sole? Do you ever do the tableside garbage? I love the tableside garbage.
What was it? Tableside garbage?
The filleting and presenting at the table.
Yeah.
Also French.
Yeah.
Could do that, but
I mean, did they ever do that in Belgium or not? I mean, like,
I think it's coming back. It's coming back.
Yeah.
I think one of the nice things
Or the turbo, the big tableside, and the
I think one of the nice things that Michael does too is he greets everyone and then says goodnight, at the end of the night. So it's like not necessarily doing the dishes, but he's still out there kind of doing his thing, which
doing the dishes is a weird thing that Thomas Keller made popular because he's like, I like to do the dishes. It's because he's perverse. He likes to do the dishes. It's not that he does everything in the restaurant. It's that he likes to do dishes.
Yeah.
Right? So, don't take that as the sign of being a good or caring chef that you're sitting there scrubbing the pots.
Well, no, I mean, he comes out and talks and...
No, that's I like that. That's hospitality. That's great.
But for me, when the people come, they arrive, they had a drink, they had the first appetizer, I go to the table and I give the explanation of the menus. So for me, it's also nice to see, to meet the people. So, okay, that's the way I met Jean. And you see, okay, there's somebody who's he's feeling good. He's somebody who's passionate about it. So it's nice you have a talk with people and then, okay, you feel already is he open-minded for things? I get sometimes suggestions you could take that it's not on the menu. That okay, this person will be open-minded for tasting things.
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking about this coming out and greeting, running the restaurant in general. So it seems like the restaurant, I'm trying to figure out how it works. Whenever I hear about somebody's restaurant, it doesn't do the same thing everyone else does. So you have a relatively small restaurant, relatively few covers per night, and how many days a week are you open?
4 and 7.
Yeah. So how do you make that work? When you're working at a high level, everything's very difficult to keep going at a high level anyway. Is that why you're only working a couple of days a week? But then the economics become difficult to work with. How does it?
But it's not easy. It's a challenge for sure. I think for the whole restaurant, the whole hotel restaurant business, to find the good stuff, to find the good people to get the job done. We were 12 full-time paid people, so I got some people like my second chef, my maître d'hôtel. They worked with me 12 years from the beginning. So you want to have people who keep on being motivated and staying part of the team. You see a new generation of people, they're more busy with also side projects of themselves and hobby and leisure time is also really important. So you feel if you see in the restaurant business for sure in Belgium, there's I think 80% of the high level restaurants are open 4 days.
Where do people eat the other days, or do you shift it around? This is the person who's open on the Sunday.
If you go to the coast, everybody's open on the weekend. If you go to the cities, more and more restaurants are closing Saturday, Sunday. So my restaurant's closed Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
All right, so people take note. There are good days and bad days to visit certain places. What's the worst day of the week to show up in Belgium and be like, I'm going to eat?
Theoretically, Monday is a lot of restaurants are closed.
So what you
for sure in Ghent, if somebody else Monday is really difficult, I think.
Yeah.
In the U.S., it'd be unimaginable. I know 2 or 3 restaurants do it here in the U.S., but to be closed Saturday, Sunday, and Monday would just never do it.
You couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing, I just don't know how. I don't know how everyone would get paid.
Yeah.
Because you got to pay still got to pay your rent.
Suppliers.
Right. Suppliers. Your food has to stay in good stuff. You need your prep done, so the prep needs to get done, some of it anyway, beforehand, right? I guess it depends on how you devise your menu, but most of even our stuff at a bar, I can't walk in the morning and have service done ready by the night. You know what I mean?
And then they have lunch service going on too, so prepping
for sure. Tuesday is challenging. Tuesday is always after 3 days, of course. But on the other hand, on a Friday, there's not much coming in anymore for ingredients because you have everything, more or less. What do? You can make a sauce. You can make a stock to make a good sauce on Tuesday. You can make bases that are good. So you can vacuumate. You can preserve things in advance that to get started. Otherwise, of course, if you start from scratch, it's...
So what's the best day to go to your restaurant? Wednesday? Because you've already slapped around your suppliers who shafted you on the day that you reopened on the Tuesday. You've straightened all that stuff out.
No, Tuesday to Friday, same level.
I'm just messing with you. All right. All right. Hey, Stas, I'm going to trigger you here. One of the dishes, get this is 2 things that Nastasia and I have an issue with. You do a pork loin cutlet, that's fine. Jerusalem artichoke and beetroot. So what does this look like? First of all, Nastasia used to give people Jerusalem artichoke just to make their insides explode. So like how much Jerusalem artichoke are you getting, and how are you cooking it?
If there's one vegetable that can prepare like so good,
Yeah,
I think Jerusalem artichoke. You can make like the best chips of it.
Yeah,
What do they like? So good soup with it. For me, Jerusalem artichoke and Japanese dashi beans.
What do you call
combination.
them? What do you call them in not English?
Aardbeer.
Whoa,
Aardbeer. It's like yeah.
Huh. See, that's like I know the French and I know the English.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, in season we use it a lot.
So Nastasia used to cut them up raw and put them in salads to mess with her friends. And their insides.
Yeah,
Does it affect you or not? Does it not affect you? Really?
No, that's really good.
Lucky.
I inflate like a balloon.
Yeah.
Like when I eat those, oh my God, my insides feel like, you ever see the movie Scanners when the guy explodes? He just explodes.
Take a look tonight.
Yeah, he's like sitting down and, and his head just boom, explodes. That's my insides on uncooked.
Came from the wrong farmer, I think.
Yeah. Well, no, it's just like all the inulin, man. And then beetroot. How do you do the beetroot? How does it come? So Nastasia likes when you hand her one big undercooked beet and a fork. Is that what you do? Because that's what she loves. I'm just kidding.
Undercooked, yes, disaster, no?
Yeah. What
We cook it in a salt crust if we prepare it. So, and then I make the sauce also. We have a part of the beetroots you centrifuge, and then I reduce it on the stove like for 80%. You really have a nice syrup with it. You can put like a little jam or some fruit with it. And then the beetroots, you bake them 2 hours on 200 degrees Celsius in the salt crust. Let it cool down in the salt crust and take the skin off. And then for me, that's maybe one of the best dishes that I found that the vegetables that we did was like a combination of braised, like a salt crust braised beetroot. Then we grilled it all a minute, and then we get some béarnaise with it. It's like a really classical béarnaise sauce with beetroots. For me, like such a combination. But the beetroots, you cut it in pieces, you grill it, and then the sauce that I was talking about, like the reduced syrup of the beetroot, you put it around it, so you glaze the beetroot with that, and then aside that you give the béarnaise sauce, but like a classical tarragon béarnaise, tarragon vinegar.
So what's the texture of the beet after all of that? My favorite beet texture, remember when like maybe 7-8 years ago, everyone was doing like semi-dehydrated beets and then cooking them and they got kind of chewy? Like what's the texture of this one like?
No, you don't want it to be that it's crispy, no?
Right.
I really like it, the things you just said, when you cut it really thin, but it's like more for like a salad or... I like the texture also, but it needs to be cooked.
Right.
It's not enough cooked, I don't like it.
Yeah.
So it needs 2 hours. For me, like... the size of a tennis ball, it's 2 hours. 2 hours, 200 degrees.
But does it come? But at the plate, you're not. So it's still the size of a tennis ball, but it's been cooked.
No, we cut it, and we grill it.
Ping pong ball.
You trim it a little bit nice.
Yeah. Yeah, Nastasia and I got ruined once by someone serving us like a giant undercooked beet, and ever since then we've been like, cockscomb. Are you cooking the plant cockscomb or the actual comb of a rooster? A rooster like headpiece.
Which vegetable are you talking about?
Well, is it because there's also a plant called cockscomb. I don't know if you can eat it, but it's like on the menu it's saying you do cockscomb. But I was wondering whether you were talking about the bird part.
Like head de coq.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So how do you cook that? And is it delicious?
It's a gelatine texture, no?
Huh.
So there's a lot of people who don't like it, but like in the really classical, if you got a poulet de Bresse, like a vol au vent, a really nice vol au vent, they also... I did it before.
Yeah.
They would put like the stomach.
And how many do you get? How many do
But
they...
not too much. You're first gonna boil them in a stock,
Right.
and then you need to take like a little skin on it. You're gonna scrap it off. Takes a long time. But there's like also a hard piece where it's attached to the head.
Yeah.
You're gonna take that off. But when it's really nice cooked and you put it in a hot sauce, it's like a really nice jelly texture.
Is it like similar to like duck tongues are kind of jelly like? Is it
No,
like
that's meat. The duck tongue is really it's more meat. And that's really like it's glazy if you see
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I've never had a cockscomb as far as I know.
It's good.
It's good, yeah.
How many do you get on a plate? How many?
You're gonna have a stew, or you're gonna have like a piece of a fillet of chicken. You're gonna have some minced meat of the same chicken legs. You're gonna put like a little pieces of the stock, not a whole piece. No,
No.
the people are gonna run away then.
I mean, I wouldn't.
You're gonna serve it to the people. You're not gonna say it, and when they eat it, like you liked it, yes. When they know what they eat, like oh my god,
Really?
but they like it.
Even in Belgium, though? Or is that more of an
Not
American
everybody's
thing?
open-minded for that, no.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. All right. Good to know. Now, I could be wrong because half the things I read on this thing were mistranslated, so I don't know. But it seems like we might share the same favorite cheese. You are a Vacheron Mondor fellow, like I am?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
That's God's cheese. Vacheron?
yeah that's crazy good.
Vacheron Mondor is like Jesus' cheese. But we can never get a really good one here.
It's true.
Must be not pasteurized, no?
People lie, they cheat, but something about like the shipping. I don't know whether it's like the way that they have to pack them to ship or, I don't know. But it's just like if you've ever gone during the season to buy them. I mean, I have like 2 or 3 shops. I've only ever really bought them in Paris over there, but there's 2 or 3 shops I go to and it's just like, that's all I want. That's all I want, like all day. I just want that and some bread. And it's like...
But it's a winter cheese, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I used to go to Paris every like late January for a trade show that my wife used to go to, and I would go. So I would be like, I would just only eat Vacheron. That's
I was doing it on the last menu that I served to the people. When I have my tasting menu, there's always a cheese preparation inside. So the last menu that I did in January, we did a preparation of Vacheron Mondor. But the thing was, the concept of the dish that I was thinking of was like, okay, what is good? You put a Vacheron in the oven, then cook some potatoes with it. Okay, I can't serve that in my restaurant because it's not original.
And it's
I want to do something with potato and with the cheese. So what we end to, and at the end we had the apple, so like a golden apple. We really cooked it in a syrup. We take it out, and we had like the piece of the apple we filled up with the Vacheron Mondor, put it in the oven, and then some caramelized apple with the nice syrup of the apple with the laurel with it. So people loved it. Yeah.
with what? With laurel?
Laurel leaves.
Like same like bay?
Yeah, bay leaf.
Yeah.
Well, you want to tell us also about your Stilton ice cream dish?
Yeah,
Like
that's
the
the preparation
Jamaica
that stays
one,
on the card. Like, I think we do it like 7 years now, and it was voted 7 years ago like the best dessert of the year from a Goy Mio guide.
So how Stiltony is it? How salty is it?
It is, but it's less salty than a Roquefort, we know.
Roquefort's a salt bomb.
Well, what the original idea of the dish was, we had a taste plate, a cheese plate with pieces of, I'm just saying 8 pieces of cheese, and there was also like a piece of Stilton with it. And more or less every time there was like breaking a piece. Oh, it's not nice enough to put on the plate. So at the end of the month, like the guy was saying, hey, I have a big bag here. It's pretty much okay. I vacuumed it, but what do we need to do with it? Okay, it's an expensive cheese. So, okay, we end up to do like, I'm gonna make a base and we're gonna make an ice with it. Then we make the ice with it. So I tasted, it was like, okay, you have like the little chocolate reminding taste, the cacao taste, but it's okay. Blue cheese and chocolate is good. So we ended to make like the ice with it. And we gave a vinaigrette of vin jaune and apple with it. Some almonds, roasted almonds, and then we put some powder of cacao in, and people love it. So
There's no there's the chocolate's just on the outside, or the chocolate's also with the cheese in the ice cream. It's just on the cocoa, or it's just a piece of chocolate with it.
No chocolate with it, huh? Just a little bit of cacao powder on top.
Cocoa powder.
Some salt, some molten salt with it.
Yeah, two more. So the vin jaune, like do you use the? I mean, I'm sure you're fancy, so you probably actually reduce it. But like they make, they make these kind of like not quite vin jaunes that you can use for reductions. Do you use that one, or do you use the real one?
It's more like a vinegar also we use. No?
Yeah. Because that stuff is so expensive. I like.
Yeah, but it's good. No?
Delicious, yeah.
You like the bottles too? They got the coolest little
They
bottles.
do have really nice bottles.
But it's just so expensive. You know who uses that? Who used to use that all the time? Jeremiah at Bar Contra. I know what I ate this week. I went to Temperance. I went to
That's right.
Temperance Wine
You did.
Bar. Had
You
a
did.
good chunk of your menu. You gonna go see American Belgique?
No, he's
Gonna go down?
got no time this trip, I believe.
No.
To my restaurant.
So where have you eaten so far here?
11 Madison Park, Clement Bar, Estella we did also really nice.
Yeah?
And today we had the Apollo bagel was. I really liked it. It was really,
Yeah?
it's really good.
I mean, you could do a whole bagel trip. Did you have any of the
It was
fancy?
my first one. It wasn't the only one.
That's your first bagel ever? Which one did you get? What did you get?
The smoked salmon.
Yeah, but
Smoked
What
salmon,
kind of bagel?
creamy,
Like an
creamy
everything
cheese, and the
bagel?
one with the sesame.
what kind of bagel?
Sesame or everything or plain.
What?
Sesame and everything.
Okay, everything. Okay, sesame is a good choice, but everything.
Everything's the way to go. Yeah.
If you need, listen. If you listen, you got to go to Russ and Daughters, not for the bagel, their cream cheese. Get the best bagel you can get. Get their plain cream cheese, not their flavored cream cheese, which is just Philadelphia, which Philadelphia is a fine product, right? But their plain cream cheese. They also have one of the best fish, like cured fish counters.
Yeah.
And get their locks on it. Oh, man.
Yeah,
All right. So yeah, that's the way. But
We're going to stretch this afternoon, so.
yeah. Well, yeah. Good. Yeah. I called Wiley. You're gonna go in there. So he's like, why does someone come from Belgium and they want to eat pizza? I'm like, everybody likes pizza, dude. You're be a
Coming
dummy.
from New York. Coming to New York.
Yeah, everyone wants pizza. What else are you gonna? When are you flying back?
Tomorrow
Oh,
afternoon.
son of a gun.
Yeah.
All right. So pizza.
Chef's
what-
Table Brooklyn Fair tonight.
Okay. All right. Well, it's good trip. Anyway, thanks for coming on the show. Welcome back anytime.
Thank you.
Wait, we didn't even open the fancy mustard. Give them the name of the super fancy mustard.
Tirantin. It's right from the square in Ghent.
Yeah, but there is one that's not real that sounds just the same.
That's true. I can't remember what that one is. There's like an offshoot one too, right?
Yeah.
That's not,
Before we go, because I know we're late, do you guys have any more secrets about the mustard? Because the lady will not talk to me.
I found out that after they make it, they let it sit for 2 days and then they start piping it upstairs. But I don't know anything else about it.
And they still use that same half wooden barrel bucket.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's such good mustard. Sharp mustard.
Yeah.
I don't- If
strong, yeah.
if what you folks want is honey mustard, look elsewhere.
Yeah. Great.
Anyway, thank you for coming on. Appreciate it.
Welcome. Thank you.
All right, cooking issues.